We'll start up here in the front and work our way around. It has one 12-volt battery on the front of the trailer, two 20-pound propane cylinders that are full except for what they use to service the trailer. On your auto regulator, the arrow's pointed towards this one over here. This is the one they worked off of when they started. Shows you green inside the eye. As soon as this bottle would happen to come empty, it's going to turn red inside the eye, indicating that the bottle it's pointed to is empty. It'll automatically pick up from this one over here if the cylinder's open on top. We have a light for hooking up at nighttime, your up and down stroke for the jack, and there is a manual way to crank the jack. For any reason it won't go on its own, there is a manual way to crank it up or down to get it on or off the vehicle. Propane cover has two tabs on the bottom of it with a bungee cord going underneath the metal rack to hold it in place. But it also has the quick disconnect at the top so you don't have to take the cover off every time you want to turn the propane on or off. Two LED strips on the front of the trailer have to be turned on to the monitor panel on the inside. They say cap lights on it on the monitor panel, so we'll show you that when we get to the inside. It is prepped for solar. If you want to buy the solar panel that sits out beside the trailer, plugs into there, will recharge the battery on the front of the trailer. It also has a tire indicator to tell the tire pressure that's in the tires and a two-way light. The light right above it can be turned on 24/7 or set to go off when the compartment door is open. The blue coiled hose is for your port spray in the back of the trailer. I'll show you where it connects here in just a little bit. Pretty good sized compartment, goes all the way through from one side to the other. It does have a metal floor ramp that you can open the door up and put hard objects down in the bottom of it without them worrying about them falling through. It is also prepped for slide toppers. And on them electric jacks, there is a manual way to crank them on the off door side, right dead center in the middle, with the slotted handle provided in the front compartment. Lug nuts on the trailer has been torqued at 100 foot-pounds, is what's recommended on the side. The tires are aired up to pressure, which is 65 pounds on the side of the tire coat. They also have the nitro gas in them instead of having air in them. If you're out on the road and one would happen to come in a little low on you, you can put air in on top of it, but if you want the pure nitro feel, you have to go back to like a Plaza Tire or a car dealership. On your holding tanks, the 3-inch valve in the back is your toilet water. The 2-inch valve in the front will be your kitchen sink water, bathroom sink, and shower water. Here again you have a satellite hookup and a park cable hookup. This is where your little blue coiled hose is going to go to that gives you cold water on this side of the trailer here in the back. You have a city water connect and a black tank flush. Either one of those connections, when you hook onto them with the water hose, I suggest that you use a water regulator to catch the water pressure down between 41 and 45 pounds of pressure. Just keeps the lines loose from blowing on the inside of the trailer, blowing loose. This is your power cord. Go straight on, tighten up the black knob. It's 25 to 30 foot long. It is a 30 amp service. It does have a backup camera on the back. It's wired for a backup camera. It doesn't have the backup camera there. Also has the ladder extensions so that if you bought the ladder that goes with the trailer, hooks to the two hooks there, and can get you up on top of the trailer. My suggestion is always going up on the roof. Check the roof every 90 days. The quicker you can find a problem with the roof, the better off you are, and the easier it is to fix and maintain your trailer. As we start down this side here, the first switch is for the two back balancing jacks. They don't lift the trailer from side to side for leveling, they just stabilize it while you're walking through the center. You also have a little round hole here in the bottom. There is a 3/4 inch nut coming out of the frame that will manually crank the slide room in or out. For any reason it won't go on its own. There is a manual override that you can crank it in or out on its own. It does have the two outside speakers. I'll just show you more about them when we get the stereo to the inside. Stove vent. For the stove vent to work properly, two taps have to be lifted up. Allows the flapper to flap, but when you're in travel you want to keep those pushed back down. That way it doesn't break out and fall out on you. Outside of the furnace, sucks cold air in the top, hot air out the bottom. I always suggest putting a mud dauber screen over that for the simple fact that screen's less than 15 bucks. It's $145 an hour for somebody to take the furnace out and clean them out of there. Your next one up is your freshwater tank fill. Fills right here, drains right underneath the steps. Over here, they do have the two low water drain points right in front of the axle for winterizing and dewinterizing of the trailer. There is a place for a park cable or antenna on top and a 110 outlet to plug it into so you can watch the ball game out underneath the awning. Hot water heater works two ways, 110 and propane. Before you turn either one of them on, you want to pop the pop-off valve here at the top. Make sure you have water coming out of it before you turn on electric or gas. The electric and gas switch, both on this, is on the monitor panel on the inside. Also has a drain plug down the bottom for draining it for winterizing and in between trips. Front jack switch that operates with two balancing jacks on the front. In the door here, the little S-curved handle cranks the front tongue jack up. This square, a 3/4 inch one, will run the slide room in or out. For any reason it won't go in or out on its own. And this one here is for the balancing jacks that's on the trailer. If for any reason they won't work off the switch, there is a manual way to crank them up or down. And then that metal compartment up in the front does have a magnet to hold it up. Gives you quite a bit of storage underneath the floor level. When you let go of that thing, it's going to slant down. Once you got the trailer on site, level from side to side, your balancing jacks are down. The next thing is the proper fit of the steps. So we're going to come back to the front door. We're going to open it up. Open it all the way up. Blue handle holds the steps to the door frame. We're going to pull it to let it come out. It does have a pull tab on either one of the bottom legs. There's 15 to 18 holes in the legs as the steps come out. The main thing is it has to lay flat in the threshold so that the front door fits over the top of it properly. To achieve that, push the levers on underneath the legs, let the legs extend out. Once it's laying flat in the threshold. We're going to step to the inside of the trailer. It does have a working fire extinguisher on the left-hand side as we come in. I'm going to go ahead and run the room out so we get a little bit more room. In running the room out, you always want to make sure that nobody's parked up against the side of you over there, or there's a tree sticking on that side that the slide room would hit as it goes out. Back down at the monitor panel to check the battery life. It shows you it's fully charged. To get an accurate reading on the battery, you need to have the 110 line unplugged. Fresh tank still showing 2/3 full. Need to drain it before you leave. Your black tank showing 1/3 on it. We'll drain it before you leave. Gray tank is your bathroom sink, shower, and bathroom sink water. Does not have the auxiliary tank. The first blue button turns the pump on between the freshwater tank and the faucets. The second one turns your gas side of your LP on for the hot water heater. If the water wasn't hot, that little blue light would have come on right there. Stays on for about a minute. Once that blue light goes off, the hot water heater goes through two lighting processes to light on gas. If for any reason it doesn't light, it'll come right back on. Third switch over is the electric side of the hot water heater. You want to make sure it's got water in it before you turn it on. And then you got your cabin lights, which is your 3 lights down through the center of the living and kitchen area. First blue switch on the left-hand side of the second row turns your 2 little cap lights on the front of the trailer. Second blue switch turns your LED lights underneath your awning on. Third auxiliary switch turns the little blue light underneath the steps on. First toggle switch here to the left-hand side runs the slide room in and out. Second one does your awning in or out. Then you also have your battery disconnect here. For the battery disconnect to be on, it has to be pulled in the out position. We also have a working smoke detector, our LP detector and carbon monoxide detector. All the rest of the lights in the trailer have to be turned on by hand. We got 2 sets of keys for the trailer. It is a key lock trailer. The purple key does the lock and deadbolt on the front door and both of your outside compartments. All the paperwork for the trailer was in the red bag in the second drawer down. It's always good to read over that, get familiar with all the appliances. It does have a 110 outlet up underneath the cabinet by the microwave. Microwave, the only thing I can tell you about the microwave is hit the clock button. Let's say it's 3:30. Hit the clock button again till the 2 center eyes are solid. The only reason I set the time on the microwave is you can tell if the trailer's lost 110 power coming to it if it comes back in and it doesn't have the proper time. You also have a light for the stovetop and the fan. For the fan to work properly, the 2 tabs on the black vent on the outside have to be opened up. Button on the right hand side of the stove illuminates the valves. We're going to lift the glass stove top up 2 times up out of the way. We're going to turn the valve to where it says pilot on, using the striker on the left hand side to light them. Lights all 3 burners up on top. When they have gas coming through the valves, they will turn red instead of being blue. Same way with your oven. You'll turn it to where it says pilot on. You actually have to hold down on the knob using the same striker on the left hand side to light the pilot on the oven. Let it run for about a minute, and then you can dial the temperature up. You flip that switch on the right hand side to the down position. You also have a light inside the oven. Before we go too far away, in here there is a panel missing that accesses you into the back of the hot water heater. There's 2 white valves on the back of the hot water heater. Both valves are pointed towards the tank right now, which is in the normal operating position. When you get ready to winterize, they get turned sideways. That way it makes a loop at the back of the hot water heater so that you don't have to fill the hot water heater with antifreeze. And I'll put that panel back in a little bit. On your breaker box, they're marked with your 30 amp service being the top as they come down. They're marked over here: main, AC, microwave, convection, microwave or hot water heater, receptacles, and GFI. Car fuses on this side are marked what they are from top to bottom, and they do have a red light to the right hand side of them that illuminates whenever the fuse is blowed. And you should have a spot down towards the bottom that's empty. Thermostat for the heat and the AC. Going to turn it off. When you first turn it on, you're going to get your fan speed, which is low and high. We're going to go to cool, cool low, cool auto, and cool high. You'll dial your temperature down for your air conditioner. You hit the mode button one more time. It says heat in the lower left hand corner. You'll dial your temperature up for it. Hit the mode button one more time and it says off in the lower right hand corner. TV got 32 channels off the antenna on top of the trailer and the power booster that's in behind it. And then we have a remote for the stereo. And the stereo will play a DVT between the stereo and the TV. You have your A and B speakers. Zones 1 and 2. Zone 1's inside, zone 2's outside. Back there. Go into the bathroom area. There's one more switch on the wall to turn the lights above us on. It has a single foot flush on the right hand side of the toilet. It also has your GFI outlet in the bathroom that controls all the outlets that's in the trailer. And in the bottom of this compartment, the panel's missing there. It is accesses you into the water pump. The clear hose is a bypass for winterizing. All you have to do is turn the white valve the opposite way it is now, and it will suck from the clear hose from your jug of antifreeze through the whole system of the trailer. And it is in the operating position now. It does have a narrow knob in the ceiling that cranks the fan up. Little black button off the side turns the fan on. We also have air conditioning coming into the bathroom area, and we also have heat coming through the brown vents in the carpet on the floor. We do have a 110 outlet on this side of the desk. Do have a fire escape window in the back of the trailer. For any reason the trailer would happen to catch fire, you can pull the red handle, hit the center of the window, and escape out through the back. Has pretty good sized drawers on either side, but it also has a heat vent on the right hand side. There is a light above the recliners, has to be turned on by hand. We do have one USB port on the left hand side in the recliners. Recliners don't have a USB port inside of them, but they do have a pull handle on the outside on each one of the arms that pulls, that lets the legs come out. And there is a dinette table that's sitting on top of the bed that comes and fits through the V block here between the 2 recliners, so you have a table to eat on. In the refrigerator, it has an on and off button here at the top. If you're wanting to see the temperature in the freezer, you hit the button where the white is at the top. It tells you it's sitting on the 4th setting. If you check the temperature in the refrigerator part, which is running on the 4th setting, and then they have a quiet mode for at nighttime so that you don't have to listen to it run while you're trying to sleep. It is pretty cold in top and bottom. Pretty good sized pantry off to the right hand side of that. Top and bottom. A lot of storage. And on the bed, there is a 110 outlet on either side of the bed. The 3 lights in the bedroom area all have to be turned on by hand. They got a little push button off to the right-hand side of each one of them. And it also has another fire escape window on the off-door side of the master bedroom. And it does have a king-size bed that will slide from one side to the other. The locking mechanism that holds it in place is on the left-hand side right here at the edge of the compartment. It does have another knurled knob in the vent in the bedroom area. Little black switch off to the right-hand side turns it on and off. We also have a smoke detector right before it goes into the bathroom. And you have the quick cool down on the air conditioner here that you can open these up. Lets all the cold air come right down into the living quarters. Whenever it gets cold enough in here for you, you can flip that back to the sides and it goes to the brown vents in the ceiling. All the heat will come through the brown vents on the cabinets. And there's got one on the floor over here on the right-hand side of the bed. And it's in the floor, actually. That's basically everything on your trailer. If you have any questions, I'll try to answer them the best that I can. And thank you for your time.